Good morning, everyone. Am I audible? Am I audible, students? Please mention in the chat box. Okay. Jambu said yes. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. So actually today uh, we have the convocation program. Virtual convocation is going on, but then also uh, I took the class because like from next Friday or I don't remember the date, but Durga Puja vacation is there, no? So that's why I need to complete since I already missed two classes last week. So that's why for makeup I have to take the class. Okay. So okay. So first of all, um, since today is Monday and I think Friday will be 22nd. Let me see. Okay, Thursday is 22nd. Okay, so I think from Thursday, your vacation, puja vacation is there. Maybe 3, 4 days there is vacation. Maybe I'm not sure, but since if there will be vacation, then there will be no class during puja. So I this one for so that I can quickly complete your chapter. So I would like to uh, give you some assignments. Okay, assignments like you write it down in your copy and you can know like using a cam scanner you can just scan it and you can send it to me later. Okay, so the questions from the chapter, like module 3, I'm thinking to give you from module 3. That is module 3 was your this pollution chapter, right? So just let me see once. Just wait. Okay, I'm seeing this one. Okay, so like module 1 we have completed. So module 2 I will be this one. I'm going through it now. So module 3 here you can see um, this one. This chapter actually it's a very simple chapter. So I want to give some questions regarding this module 3. Okay, so you will be writing the assignments by yourself and also you will go through it. Okay, because module 3 questions like what are the sources of air pollution, what are the composition and properties of air, all those things. So what how to prevent air pollution, what are the control measures for air pollution. So all these things I won't be going through. Okay, so you will have to write the answers by yourself using Google. You can search it and you have to write it down. Okay, so I will provide the questions. I will make it a PDF and I will send it to you by today. Okay, today or tomorrow or before your puja. Okay, then you will write down this module 3. Not module 3, like questions I will give you regarding this module 3. So module 3, by then your module 3 will be completed. Okay, so when you go through the questions and all, so your module 3 will be completed. So okay, so that much only. Module 4 and module 5 I will go through. Okay, so okay. So last class where we were. Okay. So we completed up to your dissolved oxygen part, if I'm not wrong. Okay. So next is your chemical oxygen demand, and also chemical oxygen demand, also known as COD, and also your biochemical oxygen demand, BOD. So these two I am going to explain it together. Okay, like together you should know what these two things are. So basically from the name itself, oxygen demand, biochemical and chemical oxygen demand. So from the name itself, you could make it an idea that it is something related to the demand of oxygen. Okay, so your what happens, the organic matters, okay, those are actually of two types. Okay, the organic matters are of two types, and they are what? One is your biodegradable organic matter, and the another one is your non biodegradable organic matter. Okay, and the biodegradable organic matter, it is also known as your biologically active. Okay, biologically active, and the other one means which you cannot which cannot be, you know, oxidized biologically, so that is known as your biologically inactive. Okay, so these two types of organic matters are present in the sewage sample. So what your COD, chemical oxygen demand, does is that, you know, it gives the, you know, it finds the both your biologically active and biologically inactive organic matters. Okay, so it gives the total, means the two types of organic matters, but in your biochemical oxygen demand, it gives only the biologically active organic matter. Okay, so basically what happens, we are always, you know, everyone is always interested in an active thing, isn't it? We always want the active thing, we don't need the inactive thing. Okay, suppose one person is, he is very active in sports, so obviously we will be interested in him, that he is, you know, he is active in something, and we don't like anyone who is inactive. Okay, so similarly for your biochemical oxygen demand also. Okay, so biochemical oxygen demand, what it gives us, you know, this is a test actually. This test, it gives you the, you know, the only the biologically active organic matter. Okay, whereas your chemical oxygen demand, it gives you the both biologically active and both biologically inactive organic matter. Okay, so basically your biochemical oxygen demand, it is more frequently it is used, okay, than your COD. So basically this is the main difference between your BOD and COD. Clear? So now in your mm, in your COD part, okay, the COD, it has it can be, you know, find out by some laboratory experiment. So there is a laboratory experiment for your COD test, and also BOD test also is there. So it is now find out by using like potassium dichromate, okay, or potassium permanganate. So all these things are used for finding out the your COD test, okay, while doing the COD test. So whenever you will be going through the experiment, you will come to know what are the oxidants that are being used. It is your potassium dichromate or potassium permanganate. Okay, so basically that was the difference between both COD and BOD. Okay, so now your BOD, again one more thing, BOD, it you know, it has a you know, the certain day. Okay, one some day is fixed, like here you can see, you see this line, the BOD of water during 5 days at 20 degrees Celsius is generally taken as the standard demand. So what is the standard demand for BOD? It is your 5 days at 20 degree Celsius, okay, and is about 68% of the total demand, okay, and a 10-day BOD, it is your 90% of the total. So basically your 5 days at 20 degrees Celsius, your that is known as your standard demand, okay, standard BOD demand, okay. So, and this 5-day BOD, it can also be written as BOD 5. Okay. So, next. Okay. So, what is the formula for your BOD 5? The formula for your BOD 5 is this one. You see, DO. DO means what? Dissolved oxygen, as we already discussed in the last class. DO consumed in the test by the diluted sample multiplied by volume of the diluted sample by volume of the undiluted sewage sample. Okay. So the so here this part, the factor, so this part, this one, volume of the diluted sample by volume of the undiluted sewage sample, this part is known as your dilution factor, okay. This is known as your dilution factor, this part, okay, only this part. So here it is given one example. You see, suppose I say you that 1% of diluted sample is given to you. So what does that 1% of diluted sample means? Okay, so that means that 1 milliliter of sewage. Okay, 1 milliliter of sewage. It is diluted to make 100 ml of test sample. Okay, so 1 milliliter of sewage, it is diluted, and it is it is diluted to make it 100 ml of a test sample. Okay, so the dilution factor, it will be 100. Why 100? Because it is your, you see your volume of diluted sample, that means 1 ml of sewage, it is a raw sample, okay, means 1 ml of sewage, it is not diluted yet, so that will be undiluted one. So here your in your denominator part, it will be 1 here, okay, and what will be in your numerator part, it is diluted to make it 100 ml, so it will be your 100 here, okay. So your answer will be 100 is your dilution factor, okay. So like that, numericals might be given to you to find out the dilution factor, and your undiluted and diluted sample will be value will be given to you, will be provided to you, and you may need to find out the dilution factor. So we have a similar numerical problem with us. Let me see. Let's wait. Okay, you can see this. Okay, you can see this numerator. Okay, so see if 2.5 uh, 2.5 ml of raw sewage has been diluted to 250 ml, and the DO concentration of the diluted sample at the beginning of the BOD test was 8 milligram per liter and 5 milligram per liter after 5-day incubation at 20 degrees Celsius. Find the BOD of raw sewage. So what this question says is that you have been given a raw sewage of 2.5 milliliter. Okay, you have been given a 2.5 ml raw sewage, and it has been diluted to what? 250 milligram per liter. Sorry, 250 milliliter. Okay, and also the dissolved oxygen. Okay, at the beginning of the the BOD test. So at the beginning of the BOD test, the DO concentration, it was 8 milligram per liter. Okay. Then after your BOD test, means you have to like for BOD test, you have to incubate your sample. Okay, we have an incubator at our this one our environmental lab. Okay, so someday if you get a chance, you can see. So we have an incubator. So in that incubator, you have to keep the BOD. No, you have to keep the sample of sewage. Okay, for 5 days at what 20 degrees Celsius, as we already told that that is the standard BOD. Okay, so after sewage sample, it has been kept in the incubator for incubation, for 5 days at 20 degrees Celsius. After that, uh, they have bring it out, and they found out the the DO, dissolved oxygen. It is found to be 5 milligram per liter. Okay. Now they are telling us to find out the BOD of the raw sewage. Okay. So how to find out? So here first you need to find out the dilution factor, or you can say the dilution ratio. Okay. So what is the dilution ratio formula? It is your volume of the diluted sample by the volume of the undiluted sample. Yes. So volume of the diluted, after dilution it is 250, right? So it is 250 here. And what is the undiluted? It is 2.5 given in the question. So you got it to be 100. Okay. So you got the dilution factor or the dilution ratio it to be 100. Now you need to find out the BOD, and we got the BOD formula just now I showed you. Like it is your loss of oxygen, okay, into dilution factor. This is your BOD formula. Okay, so dilution factor, you just now we got it to be 100. Okay, and now we need to find out the loss of oxygen. So how will you find out the loss of oxygen? Now in your question, your DO content is given. Okay, DO, both DO, after before conducting the test the DO is given, and after conducting the test your DO is given. So one is 8 and one is 5. So if you need to find out the loss of oxygen, you need to or you need to subtract the both the DO. Okay, before and after you need to subtract it. Okay, then if you subtract the both the DOs, you will find out the loss of oxygen during the test. So what is the oxygen lost during the test? You can find out. So here they have subtracted. You see, 8 and minus 5. They got it to be 3 milligram per liter. Okay. So now they have multiplied this 3 into 100, and they got the BOD of the raw sewage. It is your 300 milligram per liter. Am I clear to you this question, or is there is any question that you want to ask? This is a simple problem. Okay. Okay, you are clear. Good. So next, another similar problem. Okay, like the questions, it might be of. Okay, so I think I have not clicked the photo here. Okay, I have not clicked the photo here. Okay, no problem. I will share it in the next class. Okay, but till now, if this numerical, uh, it is clear to you, then it's fine. This numerical, next class again we will be doing one numerical. Okay, this numerical I will explain it to you. This one. Okay, so now your okay, so now dilution factor, it is clear to you. Okay, what is the dilution factor? How to find out that your BOD, it is clear to you. Okay, so this is this equation. Just now we have seen that loss of oxygen is written, and here it is written DO consumed in the test. Okay, so same thing. DO consumed means loss of oxygen only. Okay, so it is the same thing. Don't get confused. So same. This formula is the same. Just now we did. Okay. So next we have you can say we have a derivation. Okay, we have a derivation. So, but before that, two definitions I would like to clear with you. So, one is you see here, like when your oxygen it is supply, it is made available for for 5 days, okay, or for more than 5 days, okay. So what happens when you supply oxygen for more than 5 days, it is found that this oxygen, it is first for the first 6 or 7 days, it is being consumed rapidly. Okay, it is being consumed rapidly, and then again it little bit it slows down. Then again, no, like it after the end of again 20 days, it again it takes its pace. Okay, so what happens? This first, like it is written here, you see, the first demand during the first 20 days or so in fact occurs due to the oxidation of organic matter, and it is called your carbonaceous demand. Okay, so first let us read it from the first line. You see, if the oxygen supply, uh, it is made available for periods more than 5 days, it is found that the oxygen is consumed rapidly for 6 or 7 days. Okay, and then slows down until the end of about 20 days or so. Thereafter, it may again accelerate for some time and again slow down to a very low rate for an indefinite period. Okay, so when your oxygen is made available for more than 5 days, so during the first 6 or 7 days, the oxygen it is consumed rapidly. Okay, oxygen it is consumed rapidly, and then obviously by the organic matter, and then again it is no, during the 20 days about during the end of 20 days it is again slowed down, then again it accelerate, and then again it slow down. Okay, so like this is happening. So the first, oxygen the consumed during the 20 days, it is known as your carbonaceous demand. Okay, or the first stage demand. And the later demand, it is occurred due to the biological oxidation of ammonia. Okay, and so when ammonia biological action of ammonia is there, so it is known as your nitrogenous demand, or also it is known as your second stage BOD. Okay, nitrogenous demand or second stage BOD. So these are the two terms. You can write it down in your copy for understanding also the derivation. Okay, so who is this? Okay, anyways, so this is your first stage BOD curve. Okay, you need to remember this, like this. You see here, you know, the actually this curve is your first stage BOD. Okay, so it is decreasing as your time. Okay, with the time your BOD curve it is also decreasing like this. Okay, so it is your first stage BOD curve. You need to remember this diagram. Okay, so here, the rate at which BOD it is satisfied at any time. Okay, or the rate at which the BOD is satisfied at any time, it can also be said as the rate of deoxygenation. Okay, it depends on what temperature, and it also depends upon the amount and nature of organic matter. Okay, in the sewage. So at a certain temperature, the rate of deoxygenation it is proportional to what? It is proportional to the amount of organic matter present. Okay, so this equation you can see here. Is this student? If anybody knows him, you please tell him to mute his mic. Okay. Okay. So here, so this part you need to know. Okay, or you need to remember this one. Okay, so it is your, here it is said that the rate of deoxygenation. Okay, that is your LT. Okay, LT is your what? Amount of organic matter that is present in the sewage. So we are taking the rate of deoxygenation, that is your DLT by dt. Okay, now is equal to, okay, since it is proportional, to the amount of organic matter. So if we give it like see, if this one is d l t by dt is proportional to, again, mt. Since it is written here, you see that at a certain temperature, the rate of deoxygenation, this is the rate of deoxidation means dLt by dt. Okay, it is proportional to the amount of organic matter present in the sewage. So this is the Lt is again the amount of organic matter present in the sewage. So it is proportional. Okay. So now if we remove this proportionality sign, so there will be an equal sign, and also there will be a proportionality constant. Okay, that is your K here. Okay, and it is a minus sign here because the curve, it is decreasing. Okay, the curve is decreasing constantly, so here it is a minus sign. Okay, and now you see the this what these things mean. Lt is your oxygen equivalent of carbonaceous oxidizable organic matter present in sewage, or simply you can say it is your amount of organic matter present in the sewage. Okay, and T is the time in days, and K is, as I said now, it is a rate constant. Okay, it is a rate constant signifying the rate of oxidation. Okay, so now what it is done, you see. Somebody please call him and tell him that his mic is not working. Please tell him. He's constantly disturbing my class.
Then he's not from our
He's
class,
not from
I
your
think.
class. Who is him? I don't know. His name is also not written properly.
Yes, ma'am.
But let me remove him, okay? Because he's constantly disturbing the class.
Okay.
Okay, let me see next time if you do. Okay, so now you see here this equation. Okay, this equation, it is now they are integrating it. Okay, I hope everybody knows integration part. Okay, so for this derivation you have to remember the diagram. Okay, you have to remember the diagram, then this part you need to remember. If you remember this equation, then it will be like serially you need to go it. Okay, you have to integrate this equation now. So if you integrate it, you see here they are putting an integration sign both in both sides. Okay, so when you are integrating it, you will get integration of something, dlt by lt. Okay, so here they are bringing this lt here. Okay, and they are multiplying this dt with your k. Okay, so you see here dlt by lt is equal to minus of k into dt. So they are cross multiplying it. Okay, so after your cross multiplication is done, they are putting the integration sign here. And when you integrate something like 1 by something is their integration, so obviously your log of something comes. Okay, the result is in logarithm. So log of base e is base e into lt. Okay, so this part has come now equal to this. Since k is a constant, so k will be going out, so minus of k into integration of dt is what? It's t. Okay, t plus 1, again 1, constant of integration will come, so it is your capital C. If you know integration nicely, then you will understand this. Okay, you will understand this is a simple integration. Okay, so now they are using a boundary condition. Okay, they are using a boundary condition that when your t small t it is 0. Okay, when your small t is 0, that is at the start your lt is equal to l. They are taking it as a boundary condition. Okay, this one. Okay, so in the these are your boundary conditions. So when t is equal to 0, your LT is equal to L. So now you need to substitute your this one and this one in your this equation. Okay, you need to substitute it. So when you substitute t is equal to 0, so and LT is equal to L, you will get this equation. Log of L by C is equal to K into T is 0 plus C. So C value you will get it. Okay, so you today I actually always forget to share this PDF with you. So today after this class only I will share it with you. Please write these equations in your copy. Okay, after you do, and if you don't understand again, then you ask me. Okay, I will explain it to you again. Okay. Oh, the meeting, it will end in 5 minutes. Okay, so what to do, it will end in 5 minutes. Okay, so after your, okay, so you got the value of C. Okay, you got the value of C as your log of L base E. So you again you put this equation in your equation 7.13. Okay, then you what, if you put the value of C now, so now you will finally, if you simplify it, and you will get the value as your this one. Okay, log of 10 LT divided by L is equal to minus 0.434 KT. Okay, so do one thing, you do for today, you complete up to here. Okay, and you see whether you understand up to here or not. Okay, so if you don't understand, again in the next class I will make I will again explain. But actually these derivations and all, you know, these are very difficult to make you understand through this through a virtual medium. Okay, because since there is no board here, I cannot show you each and one in your copy, so it is very difficult. So you do one thing, you for today the class you study up to here. Okay, and you see whether you were understanding or not, and if you get time, go through the whole derivation. Okay, if you want, then you go through the whole derivation. It is not very tough. Okay, so this is a, you know, like serial process. If you go, you will understand one by one step. Okay, so I am ending today's class here. So let me take your attendance. If the meeting ends, you join again. Roll number 69, 51.
Present, ma'am.
Okay.
51 present, ma'am.
Okay, 52. Polytechnic 52, 53, 54,
Ma'am, present. 52 present, ma'am.
53 present, and
Ma'am, 52 present.
okay, 52, 52, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62,
Yes, ma'am.
61 present, ma'am.
okay, 61, 62, 63,
Present, ma'am.
66, 66,
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
67,
66.
okay, 67,
Present, ma'am.
okay, 68,
Present, ma'am.
Present, ma'am. 68.
okay, 69, 70,
Present, ma'am. 70.
okay, 71,
Present.
72, 72,
Ma'am, present.
okay, 73, okay, 74,
Present, ma'am.
okay, 75,
Present, ma'am.
76,
Present, ma'am.
77, 77, Pinzer, 78,
Yes, ma'am.
79, 80, 81,
Present, ma'am. 80.
80 present, 81,
Present, ma'am.
82,
Present, ma'am.
83,
Present, ma'am. 83.
84, okay, 84, 84 present. Danger is present, 77. Okay. Okay, 84 is not present. 85?
Yes, ma'am.
85 present.
85, ma'am.
84 is present. Okay, okay. 85 is also present. 86? 86? 87? 87? 88?
Yes, ma'am. 88 present.
Okay. 88. 89? 90?
90 present, ma'am.
Okay. 91?
Present, ma'am. 91.
Okay. 92?